Julie Slater here with 88.5 The SoCal Sound here in Los Angeles, and I am chatting with Maren Morris. Maren, hello.
Hello, Julie. Thanks for having me.
So you're checking in, we were talking before this, you're checking in from Vegas. You said it's 105 degrees there.
Yeah, I probably won't be going outside much today, but yeah, we have a little day off here. We just started the tour last night in Park City, Utah. Our day off today, and then tomorrow we're in San Diego, so we have our little West Coast run jumping off.
How did the first show go of the tour?
It was great. Like, of course, I always have jitters the first show because I feel like that's always our one that we work all our kinks out and iron out. But
Yeah.
actually, it flowed so well, and the crowd was amazing. I was like, Park City on a Tuesday night, night one of the tour. Like, I didn't know what to expect, but they were just like right there with us, like every step of the way. And it was this really beautiful outdoor, like amphitheater, like in this ski town. So it was like so beautiful.
And was the weather nice there?
Yeah, it got a little bit like hot during the day, but then at night it was perfect. And like it was just so nice to be outside for the show.
I would think playing outdoor venues just would be such a different experience, and it would feel. I love the Hollywood Bowl. I don't know if you've ever played the Hollywood Bowl or Greek theater here. I mean, it's just gorgeous to be outside.
Yeah, I've fortunately been able to do both. And like we did the bowl in 2022, I think. And that was just like insane. And then the Greek is always so fun too.
Do you walk around backstage and just do they have stuff up for you to see like all the people who have played there? Do you pinch yourself and just say like this is insane that I'm playing here?
Oh yeah, like it was bananas. Like doing Hollywood Bowl, because I've done the Greek a couple of times, but like headlining the bowl was so massive. Like just the historic nature of the venue. I brought out like my special guests that night. I brought out like Hosier and John Mayer, were sweet enough to come and get up on stage and play, and it was just like such a perfect night, perfect weather, like of course, and yeah, I mean it's a special place.
Do you spend a lot of time in Los Angeles? Do you live in Nashville now?
I've lived in Nashville for 12 years. I'm originally from North Texas, but that's my home base is Nashville. But I work quite a bit in LA because most of the people I write with and my producer friends are in LA. So most of this album, Dreamcicle, was written out in Los Angeles.
Oh, that's so great. I love having a tie, to LA when a record comes out. So Dreamsicle came out a few months ago. I know that every album is to me a chapter in someone's life, and you've definitely had a lot going on in your life, a lot of turmoil, upheaval of just, it seems like you're starting fresh. If you had to describe this record, Dreamsicle, in a couple sentences, what would you say? It's like a diary, right? Of your life and your feelings.
Yeah, I feel like it's a really good, I suppose, like lens of decay into transformation of new life because it covers like bits of my old one and like what it took to sort of, phoenix from the ashes of that experience. And I wanted to like, properly represent the sort of heartbreak and grief I was going through because I was writing every day through it. And you'll hear on this record like that, turmoil. But then also, I just wrote through every sort of awkward in between stage as well of like, the messy moments of, staying up too late with your friends at a bar and just being a complete, wreck. And, but also like the sort of arc of being able to laugh again after all of that, after not thinking you would ever find anything funny again. So I think it like really takes you on, well, the journey I went on, but also it's so nice that now I can hear other people's experiences while they listen to this album of mine and like connect with moments that maybe like they hadn't heard put quite this way before. So that like as a songwriter makes me so happy because, I'm just like trying to survive and exist, and like the only way I can sort of process my grief and emotion and like joy sometimes is through like just songwriting. And yeah, just like it's fun to see the ones on the record that people really resonate with and like become their favorites and like their anthems.
I was going to ask so the difference between, there's got to be a lot of emotion when you put out a record, but then you start playing shows. Like, how does all that feel? I know you mentioned that you've played just one show so far on this record. So you get
Yeah,
to
we
already
last
start to
night.
see.
Yeah, and it's so weird because like it just depends on like the city or the state you're in, like which songs, like you'll look at markets and like you can look at radio or streaming and be like, oh, this market really likes this song. Like it's just so bizarre, like how certain parts of the world will gravitate to like this song, and then like you'll go to the opposite end of the country and it'll be something else. But yeah, like of course, I'm always surprised. Like last night in Park City, I was just like in the moment where you have a down moment of like, okay, we're gonna play something really like stripped back. Like we were doing Grand Bouquet and Dreamcicle. That portion of the show is a lot more like intimate, quiet, but people were like so locked in, almost as if it was some like giant smash of a song. So that like really made me happy because I was like, I love that whether it's this high energy kind of catchy moment or if it's something really subdued and sad, they're like the fans are with you and they're hanging on each word and they're really listening, and that makes me so happy because I love having like a career where of course I've been fortunate to have like hit songs, but also like the ones that are really introspective and like songwritery and don't have a ton of production on them, those having just as much impact in a live show just makes me like so shocked every time.
That sounds really special. You just put out a song. I love that you have, it seems like a fun sense of humor, but you put out a song, Be a Bitch. You have to tell me a little bit about that one. I resonate. I resonate with the Be a Bitch songs, please.
Yeah, and strangely everyone is resonating because it's like no matter who you are, there's just that element of like, can I say this? And realizing there's no rules in creativity and writing, like it's just, yeah, say the thing, be petty, take the low road. There's something like fun about being bad. Like, I don't know. And also like I wasn't trying to really be mean when we started writing this song. I was just talking to like my friends I was writing with that day about this guy that like really threw me for a loop, that I was like briefly dating, and pulled the rug out. And I felt like it was so shocking and deliberate and so like immature, narcissistic. And I was like, what the like truly, I'm 35 years old and I've been through relationships and I'm very intuitive. And for me to be like duped feels even worse because you're like,
Yeah.
I can't believe I didn't see through like the lie quick enough. And because people are getting so good at lying now, that anyways, I was just working through that day. But then my friend Laura, who I was writing with, she was like, I think we need to write this song. And so that's how Be a Bitch came to be. And no, like we were just like any line, any lyric, let's just say it. And so, of course, like going full bottom of the barrel, like low road as it gets. I was like, this is weirdly putting me back together. If it feels like it's healing me to say this guy has a receding hairline, I feel like it has to be doing some good. And if it's doing some good for me, maybe it will do some good for others. So, no, and like the response to the song has been so wonderful because I'm like, oh my goodness, people are just like, we're all going through this like insane experience of the terrible nature of dating sometimes. And like, you have to keep putting yourself out there and it's so embarrassing, but also like I want a song to represent the like, you know what, I'm gonna take back my power on this one because
Yeah.
you might have you might have duped me, but I'll always have the last laugh. And now the song is eternalized.
That's so great. Have you played it live yet?
Last night was our first time
Oh,
playing it. Yeah, and it felt so good. I was like, oh, the world is healing. Not really, but no, it felt amazing. And they knew every word, and it released on Friday. So
that's pretty cool.
yeah, it was fun. I'll keep it in the set list.
I did want to point out anyone watching, I always love looking at merch, and you have a bumper sticker, honk if you're a bitch, and also a t-shirt, humble with a question mark crossed off. I'd rather be a bitch. That's very funny.
Thank you. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I was like, let's just go for it. It's fun. I love fun merch. Like, of course, I'll do like the tour tees and like the normal stuff, but then like we've had so much fun creating stuff for the tour.
I love when artists put some thought into it because sometimes you go to a merch booth and you're just like, wow, I wanted to buy something. Nothing's fun here. So that's pretty neat that you did that.
Yeah, we like to be extra stupid.
I want to talk about one of the songs on your record, Carry Me Through. I just was listening to it last night and it's such a beautiful song. It has kind of like a gospel feel, but it also had it almost gives me like a young Christina Aguilera vibe. And I wondered if you were ever a fan of listening to her. And what's your karaoke song that you pick when you go to a bar?
Oh my gosh. Thank you. I've never thought about that, but it's so funny because uh, I wrote Carry Me Through with Greg Kirsten, who I also wrote my song Girl with. And I remember when we were writing Girl, the production was sounding very like Christina Aguilera stripped to me, like era. So I was like, it's so funny that you say that about Carry Me Through. I suppose it does sort of have this like the voice within element to it from that record of hers. But no, that's a huge compliment. That's one of my favorite, like, formative albums of like my early teens. My karaoke song when I go to a bar, it used to be Halo by Beyonce. And now I feel like I always do Sweet Thing by Shaka Khan. I've done If It Makes You Happy, Sheryl Crow. That's always a crowd pleaser. Um, I need a new thing though. I haven't been to karaoke in so long, but I want to do like, I need to learn all the words, but like No Diggity or like something Salt and Pepper. I feel like when I see girls know the entire rap, um,
That would be fun.
yeah, like it's just amazing. It's iconic.
Well, you're coming to LA playing the Wiltern this weekend, and you're also playing with Truesdale, which is a band that they've played our benefit shows, and they're in LA and they're great friends of our station. So that's going to be awesome. You're doing it's like a little underplay for you playing the Wiltern.
Yeah, it's so funny because I played the Wiltern on the Girl Tour back in 2019, and it was so fun. And yeah, I think with this leg of the tour, because I'm just sort of like easing back in to things, we were like, let's just do venues that, like, some of which we're revisiting, but also, yeah, I mean, like, I was like, I would love to sort of start intimate. And then, like, of course, not to give anything away, but I was like down the line because, I love touring. I was like, we should come back to LA and do a bigger spot. Like, but no, I imagine like this being a longer tour than just
Oh,
the dates that we've announced. So keep your eyes peeled. But no, the Wiltern will be so fun. I love the like it's just such a cool venue. And I
I was
love
just looking up the history of the Wiltern, and it's so amazing. Like when it first opened, like Cary Grant was out front, like imagining that time. So and by the way, I also heard that it's haunted. So check that out for me, will you? Behind
Yeah,
the
I
scenes.
will.
All
I
right.
love a haunted venue.
All right. I've been speaking with Maren Morris. The new record is Dreamcicle. Thank you for taking time on your day off to hang out with us here at the SoCal Sound.
Yeah, it was so nice to meet you, Julie.
You too. Have a great tour.
Thank you. It was nice talking to you.